presenting to you the Cafe Encounter. Liam sat at the worn wooden table of his favorite cafe, his guitar case resting beside him. It had been a long, frustrating week. He had spent hours trying to write a song, but every attempt felt hollow, like the notes didn't belong together, like they were fighting to break free from his hands. His passion for music, once a bright flame, was now dimming, slowly fading away, leaving him feeling empty. He tapped his fingers on the table absent-mindedly, trying to summon some kind of inspiration. He took a long sip of his coffee, his eyes drifting around the room. The cafe was quiet. Only a few patrons sat scattered at tables, absorbed in their own worlds. A familiar sound broke through the low murmur of conversation, the soft, lilting notes of a piano. Liam's eyes lifted toward the sound, and he froze. The cafe's small stage was occupied by a pianist, a young woman with long, dark hair, her fingers gliding effortlessly over the keys. She was playing a delicate, haunting melody, each note perfectly placed, like it was a conversation between the piano and the air itself. He had been to this cafe countless times, but today, something about the music stopped him in his tracks. He watched her closely, captivated not just by the beauty of the music, but by something else. There was an air of melancholy about her, a kind of sadness that clung to the melody she played. Her face was serene but distant, as though she were lost in her own thoughts, her fingers playing not out of joy, but out of something deeper, something unresolved. As the song ended, the cafe fell into a brief, reverent silence. The pianist looked up, her gaze meeting Liam's for a split second before she glanced away. She seemed to be in her own world, detached from the people around her. Liam couldn't shake the feeling that he needed to talk to her. There was something about her, about the way she played, that resonated with him. Maybe she had answers to the questions he couldn't put into words. Maybe she knew what it meant to lose yourself in something, only to find it slipping through your fingers. When she finished her set, Liam made his way toward the stage. She was packing up her things, her movements slow, deliberate. He approached her hesitantly.
"Excuse me?"
He said, his voice a little shaky.
"That was beautiful. You play with such, how do I say, passion. I've never heard anything like it."
She looked up, her expression soft but guarded.
Thank you.
She replied quietly, her eyes darting away, as if the compliment made her uncomfortable.
I'm Clara.
"My name is Liam,"
he said, offering a small smile.
"I'm a musician too, but lately I've been struggling to find the right sound, the right song, you know?"
Clara raised an eyebrow, intrigued.
What do you mean? Isn't music supposed to be a feeling? Something that just flows?
That's the problem. It used to flow. I'd just pick up my guitar and the song would come. But now it's like I'm just playing noise. I don't even know if I love it anymore.
Clara's eyes softened. She folded her hands in front of her, her gaze drifting toward the piano for a moment before meeting Liam's eyes again.
I used to feel the same way.
She said, her voice barely above a whisper.
But I don't anymore.
Liam blinked, surprised by the weight in her words.
"What do you mean? You're playing in a cafe, you're still making music. Beautiful music."
Clara sighed deeply.
I was a piano prodigy once. I played concert halls and competed in international competitions. I was supposed to go places. But then something happened. I lost everything I loved about it. The music wasn't enough anymore, and I haven't been able to feel it the same way since.
Liam felt a pang of understanding. He could hear the pain in her voice, the regret, the loss of something that once felt so true.
"I get it,"
he said softly.
"It's like music becomes a burden instead of a release. I thought I was just stuck in a creative rut, but maybe it's something deeper."
Clara looked at him, her expression unreadable for a moment.
Maybe it's not about finding the right song.
She said slowly, as if weighing her own words.
Maybe it's about feeling it. just letting it come to you instead of chasing it.
Liam frowned, confused.
But I don't know how to just let it come. I've been trying so hard to make it happen.
I know.
Clara said, giving him a faint, knowing smile.
I've been there. But maybe the more we try to control it, the more we push it away.
Liam thought about her words for a moment, trying to make sense of them. He had spent so much time trying to craft the perfect song, perfect lyrics, perfect melody, that he had forgotten what it felt like to just let go.
Maybe I've been trying to make the music fit into something I think it should be, instead of just letting it happen.
Clara nodded, her eyes distant once again.
Exactly. You can't force it. You just have to trust that it'll find you.
Liam's heart raced. There was something in her words that struck a chord within him, something that felt like the key to unlocking everything he had been struggling with. The answer wasn't in searching harder. It was in surrendering to the process, in allowing the music to come from a place of honesty and feeling.
Do you want to play something together?
Liam asked, almost hesitantly, as if unsure if she would be open to it. Clara hesitated for a moment, and then her lips curled into a soft smile.
I'd like that.
Liam picked up his guitar, feeling a sudden burst of energy. Clara sat down at the piano again, her fingers hovering over the keys, before she began to play. The music flowed between them effortlessly, as if it had always been there, waiting to be uncovered. The melody they played was imperfect, raw, and beautiful. It was more than just notes. It was a conversation. It was a connection. As they played, Liam felt something he hadn't in a long time. The joy of creating for the sake of creating. No expectations, no boundaries, just the music and the moment. And for the first time in weeks, he felt alive with possibility. When the last note hung in the air, they both fell silent. Clara met his gaze, and for the first time, there was a warmth in her eyes.
I think we finally found it.
Liam said quietly. Clara smiled, a soft, genuine smile that reached her eyes.
I think we did.